I'm Shelton Wilder, and welcome to Wilder Possibilities Podcast, where each episode follows an entrepreneur's journey into the transformative power of that light bulb moment where everything clicks. I call that the click. Those pivotal points that redefine our futures, illuminate paths to success, and even change the world. Now let's get wilder. Hi friends, welcome back to Wilder Possibilities. So I have one of my dearest besties, Kelley Weaver, right here on the podcast today. She is actually Crypto Kelley, correct?
I am Crypto
Great.
Kelley.
Many other things as well. So I was so excited that you're here.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yes. Okay. So I just like to jump in and just to talk about kind of where everything started, where you're from, kind of give me a little background about you.
Way back?
Yeah, just tell us.
I grew up internationally, and then I went to high school in Maine. I came out to Southern California for USC.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, wow, you can live here?
You can stay here? This could be a place.
I saw the palm trees. I got the breeze in my hair, and it was like, I don't know why anyone wouldn't just live here all the time. This is perfection. So I really have tried not to leave ever since, and it's been coming up on 20 years.
Yeah. I'm the same as you. Some people...
This is the dream for me. This is it.
Yeah, there's so much haterade on LA, and I'm like, why? It's so amazing. I love it here. I'm like you. We love it.
And I met my amazing husband 11 and a half years ago, and I was working with Shelton at the time.
Yes!
I run a PR agency called Melrose PR, and at the time we had consumer-facing clients, and Shelton and I knew each other socially, and she had the product, the shimmy.
The shimmy!
She was on Shark Tank, and we went and we did a PR tour in New York.
We did it.
And I had been dating Hunter for about 2 weeks, and Hunter's from North Carolina, just like Shelton.
Yep. I was like, and cheaper.
Positron on my now husband, who I was dating for 2 weeks at the time.
I knew it. I saw you. You were different.
And I mean, the rest is history. We are 2-time clients of Shelton. We manifested our dream home in Santa Monica Canyon.
Yes. The first home was amazing that we got in.
That's what I'm saying. That was what
that was. Yeah, the first
And
one.
Sheldon had said to the agent who sold it to us, I'm going to sell this house.
Yeah. I went there and I was like, oh my God, wait. This is a steal. I'm like, I'm going to sell this house. And then I'm like, right here, I'm like, guys, this one. Needs a little work. Who cares?
He took iPhone photos. It was just like thrown up on Zillow.
Yep. Who cares? It was perfect.
And the price came down, and then we pounced on it, and I was pregnant with our first daughter. But I think also rewind, I was also, thanks to Shelton, I also was on Shark Tank.
Yes.
Because I was very afraid of the idea of it, but Shelton was like, no, you got to go for it. So also a Shark Tank veteran.
Shark Tank veteran.
A decade ago.
Yes, but tell what your product.
Purse case, styling and dialing. I'm doing a little iPhone case. I
forgot styling and dialing.
Like styling and dialing. That was our tagline. And we got a deal with Lori Grenier on QVC twice. It's a great experience. I learned a lot. I definitely don't want to run a product company anymore.
Oh, no thanks.
But it was an amazing learning opportunity and met so many amazing people. Part of the benefit of being on Shark Tank and getting a deal was that we got to go to all these trade shows with the other entrepreneurs who also got deals with Lori. And so some of my favorite people are fellow entrepreneurs that were on the show. So, it was an amazing network.
This whole podcast is about entrepreneurs. So I think you're definitely in that category. You've been doing a lot of different entrepreneurial things over the years. You know what I mean? You started the purse case. You started your PR firm.
Yep.
And how did you start your PR firm?
Well, I worked for various different PR firms of different sizes and representing different types of clients. And then I was just basically looking for my next opportunity. And a couple of my friends were like, why don't you freelance and do this and that? And I always thought, I don't know, I'm too young. I was 24 years old at the time.
You were so young. So, you just go for it.
And the moment that I knew was I had a dog named Melrose in college, named after the street, of course. And
I didn't even know this.
Yeah, a dog named Melrose. I lost her tragically. It was very sad. When I was thinking of, if I started a PR company, I want it to be called Melrose PR. It's such a good name. But originally the domain was taken. Like it wasn't available.
Yeah.
And
one night,
one night I was just like, I wonder if that domain is still taken. And I checked on GoDaddy or whatever.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, of course.
It was available. And I was like, okay, this is my sign. Like, we're going for it. So that was, and that was 12 and a half years ago. Amazing.
Oh,
crazy.
My God.
So
yeah.
And then, you know, Purse Case actually came after that. So Melrose predated all of that. And we had the PR company going throughout that time period. But Purse Case sort of ran its course. It was, you know, an amazing time, but also very challenging. And ultimately I decided, okay, I think I need to let this go. We ultimately sold the company. And that was around the same time that I discovered Bitcoin. And I had intersected with Bitcoin a couple of years ago, but I did not get it. I was like, we did PR for this local convenience store in Venice that was healthy foods. And they put a Bitcoin ATM in. And I was like, I don't understand why anybody would put, you know, dollars into a machine and get a piece of paper out. Like, this just doesn't make any sense.
But because before, when you first started Melrose PR, it was like restaurants,
consumer products.
Yeah, it was that. Yeah. So,
like when we went to do our desk side meetings, it was like Vogue and Glamour. And
I know. I still have this photo.
Yeah, like we had a fun time.
Like shimmies. Yeah, it was fun.
But I had been looking for something to specialize in. And so I you know, around 2016 when Snapchat was in our backyard here and all these tech companies were just sprouting up. And, you know, technology was not like LA didn't have a lot of tech companies before that. And now we have a lot.
Now it's like the hub. Yeah.
And so an advisor was like, you should really, you know, consider working with these types of companies. And so it was really sort of that magnetic qualities of the team that was working at this one company that was a Bitcoin company that I was like, oh, wow, not only is this, I want to do more of this. I went to conferences with them throughout the country, one in Nashville, actually. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I think that this could be a niche. And at the time, there was only 20 reporters in the world covering blockchain, Bitcoin, any of it.
Wow.
And so I was like, we could get to know all of them. You know, this could be our niche. And I had been looking for something to specialize in to date. Yeah. So, but that was kind of my aha moment. And then
2016.
Yeah. And 2016 was when we rebranded the website. Like, we're only blockchain. Yeah. It's been a long time.
But that is really not that long ago. That's like when I started real estate too.
I know.
Long ago.
I know.
It's really not even.
It feels like an eternity, though. We've been through. So it has some amazing highs and some incredible lows. You know, like you couldn't have written this story. It's like a movie. You know.
But
the industry, I never thought it's going to die, and I never thought that Bitcoin was going away, and I've never thought that the industry wasn't large enough to support a business. So I've really stuck with it, and I've been through a couple of like bull and bear cycles, which I didn't even know what that was
already.
Yeah. And during, you know, one of the crashes, like 18, 19 were hard years for us. And of course, at the beginning of the pandemic, also really tough.
So like what was it when you started? Like, I just want to hear this.
What do you mean?
How much was Bitcoin when you started?
Oh, when I first got excited about $613 per Bitcoin. Yeah.
Do you guys know what it is now?
I didn't check the price this morning. I actually have a clock in my office that shows the price.
Yeah, I checked it.
66,000, I think.
No, it was 70.
70,000.
70,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things about Bitcoin is it's always changing.
Yeah, 600.
So on 100x. Yeah, 100x. 100 times or more. More than 100 times. Bigger than it was then. Yeah.
Yeah, and you believed in it. And you
never stop believing in it.
But you've been the leader in the industry, really, because you would go to all these conferences. I've been to them before with you. You're always speaking on panels. You're talking about it, and that's how you get all of your clients as well.
Yeah. I know. My husband's like, you need to go to more conferences because I forget. Now we have 3 little kids. And I'm very deliberate.
My God, baby.
Yes. My first child is Shelton's goddaughter.
She's the sweetest.
Yeah. Well, we had to pick the best god.
Oh, well, I try. And so she is.
So yeah, these conferences are where I meet people. And and one of the things that I just love about the industry is the people that it attracts. Like, it's really, I think that's what drew me in to begin with, was like, I loved this team that we were working with, and the types of people that are drawn to this industry are very interesting. And we all are like compelled to believe in it for different reasons. We're all very resilient because it's not been like a straight up path at all. It's been very much up and down, but we believe in the underlying promise of the technology and what it could do for people. And honestly, the conferences are almost like a reunion. It's like seeing friends, people that we've worked with. And the other thing is, now we've been at this long enough that we've had amazing clients throughout the years at different companies, and people inevitably do move around the industry. So that's like, we worked with people at like multiple different companies now, which is nice too, because they'll bring us with them. So yeah, I think one of the things that I'm the most proud of is that we've been able to maintain our reputation throughout the years. And our business is very much a relationship business, relationships with the clients, just like you, and relationships with the reporters that we work with, because we're ultimately like a middleman between those two. And I'm so proud of, I also surrounded myself with amazing people.
How big's your company now?
13 people.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And we're launching another sort of sister business currently, which, it hasn't launched yet, but I'm very excited about it, and everything's going very well with that. So it's a product that we used over the years, like been a customer of products like this for 13 years. And this year I was just like, we've had challenges with the existing products. We're like, let's just build our own. We're going for it this year. We're just going for it. So.
I love it. That would be like if I was just like, I'm going to launch my own MLS.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly like that, actually.
Watch out, people. You never know. I know.
We both believe in manifesting, but you've got to, you got to take risks and
go for it.
It's not... It aligned action, being really positive and believing that you can and going for it. And we'll see, because, Purse Case was challenging. Like I loved it. I thought that it was really going to be the thing, and it ended up not in a way, but it was an incredible, I gained so much experience, knowledge, people, but same with you with Shimmy, I think.
With Shimmy, I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Now I have degree in slips. It's like, there's no way I could have learned in business school what I learned from having my luxury lifestyle management company and my Shimmy.
Right.
I mean, it made my Shelton Wilder, my real estate business so much better.
Yeah.
When you fail at other things, it's not like necessarily failing. It's just like, oh, okay, this is what you learn. There's no CEO school, by the way. Okay? If anybody has a CEO school, then let me know. It's just living and doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and figuring out what works, what doesn't. The right people
is critical, because that's one thing.
Yeah, me too.
I love who I work with. I really do. I really do. And so that makes it easier, especially when days are challenging. It makes it so much easier to get through the day when you have people that you enjoy working with, that you trust, that can, I'm having a hard day, so they pick up the slack, and vice versa. Listen, it's not easy what we've done, but we've built something much bigger than any one of us.
Oh yeah, but and you have some huge things coming up.
Yeah, we just locked in an official partnership with the Bitcoin conference, which I'm so proud of. But also the people, so huge. I know. Well, the guy who runs it was one of the first people who got me excited about Bitcoin in the first place 8 years ago.
And so it's like this relationship.
He has 3 children. I have 3 children. Yeah. His wife was our client. I love them. I'm so happy. I'm so honored. And he's doing some big things. We're going to be making some massive announcements coming up. Yeah. And
I know we can't say here yet, but it's huge.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm just excited. I do think that we're on the forefront. I'd love so our PR firm now is crypto and Bitcoin focused.
Yeah.
But Bitcoin specifically, I'd love to have more Bitcoin focused clients. Right now it's a mix. There's, Bitcoin clients and crypto clients, and, Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. So
I know. So explain the difference of all this. Some people don't know. I mean, I only know what Bitcoin is because of you.
Well,
I only own 0.57.
Never tell.
I own some Bitcoin.
Not enough.
I own not enough Bitcoin. She still never tell.
Oh, Lord.
I'll be like, Kelley, she's like, hey, I have some.
I wish I had more.
I remember you used to get paid.
Yes, yes. Over the years,
like
we have gotten paid in Bitcoin, yeah.
Or different cryptocurrencies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And now a lot of clients, it's a lot more seamless for us to take stable coin payments. So USDC, it's like accepting cash.
But what
basically.
Is that? What is
it's a cryptocurrency that's like a dollar payment. You know, it doesn't go up and down the way that Bitcoin does.
Oh,
right in price.
It's more like
stable, yeah.
Oh, wow. But like
to run a business, my expenses are fixed and people like to be paid in dollars. So it's a little bit challenging too.
But in the beginning,
my accounting team is like going to fall off their chair if I keep accepting Bitcoin payments because they're like, what was the price when you accepted it? What was the price of you know?
Oh gosh. Oh yeah.
So it just, hypothetically, I would love to in the future. And in fact, I think this new business that we're launching, I'd love to take Bitcoin payments. But practically it is still a little bit challenging.
Okay.
But eventually there will be infrastructure around Bitcoin to really support it as a payment rail. It is a more efficient way to move money around the internet. We have international clients, so they can pay us instantly in USDC, for example. Whereas if they send us a wire, it would take a week and cost $100, So it's like,
okay,
it's like a more efficient way to move value. And you're not, I guess what Bitcoin really is a digital store of value. And it's the first time in the history of ever that anyone's been able to transact any sort of value with each other without trusting a third party. So like without Bank of America or Venmo verifying that we have, that I'm sending you $10 and that I have it available and that now you have it and I don't, send it to you and send it to a friend at the same time, So it's like a really sort of trustless system that we can move value around the internet. And here's the thing about Bitcoin. People always ask me like very mechanical details about how it works. And if you think about the internet, do you ever think about how it works? It's like, no, it's just a more effective way.
The internet is the World Wide Web. It works.
It doesn't matter how it works. You just care that it does work. Eventually, like we will get to the point where, Bitcoin, hopefully, and crypto is so much more user friendly than transacting, regular value around like money that it will
like in banks,
right? With banks and yes, that it'll be ubiquitous. You won't wonder how it works. You'll just know that it does and then want to use that instead. And and also we've had so many issues with inflation. Like there's just money printing happening. And so the value of the dollar keeps going down. And one of the things that's so unique about Bitcoin is that there's a fixed supply. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoins ever.
Oh, really?
Yes. So that's, if you think about the value, it's like as more people want Bitcoin.
That's why it has to go up.
Right. I mean, it's like
they're not going to keep
logic. There's
printing.
No more. Like after
it's like houses. It's like land.
Right.
There's not more land in the beach.
Other than like yes, exactly. So there's only and over time, it's just as more and more people have gotten excited about it, understood the underlying technology. And I encourage anyone who's like curious about it to really do some research on it and understand like why this matters, why it could be better. We represent clients who are so much more eloquent about talking about it than I am, but ultimately, I think that it really could. It will, and it is changing the world.
Yeah,
and
it'll be the currency.
No, I don't know. I don't know about that. I think it'll be store of value like gold. I mean, we'll see. Okay. I don't want to call what it's going to be big picture, but I do think that it's not going away. It's been unstoppable. The first block was mined, I think, in 2009. So it's been, 15 years, and nobody's ever been able to hack the network. Like it's never gone down. It's had zero downtime in 15 years. Like it's unstoppable. Nobody can stop it if they want to. The reason the governments and people don't like it is because they're afraid of it, because it's unstoppable. It's bigger than them. It's this global network of computers that like runs this, way that we can transact. I could send you multi-million dollars in seconds for pennies. And that's, it's like more efficient. Now it's still like not ready for prime time because you also could send it to the bottom of the internet by accident and like not be able to retrieve. There's no customer support line to call if you send it to the wrong place.
Oh yeah. But that's why these different, like you have me on Swan.
Right. Swan is our client. So it's a place where you can purchase Bitcoin, and they also have
and it holds it.
Yes, they custody it for you is what that means.
Okay.
But you also, like, eventually I will walk you through how to self-custody and put that, in your own possession so that you can take care of that. Because eventually, like, what if Swan went down? You don't want to have to trust any third party eventually,
That's where it's kind of going.
eventually, like I think
you can hold it yourself.
Is a blessing and a curse. Like ultimately it is like a powerful tool where you can take your money with you. You can put it in your pocket and go travel the world and have access
We just
to
have
money.
phone.
Right. Exactly. Access to the internet.
Your smartphone.
Yeah. But there's also risks associated with that. What if you lose it? What if you,
forget the password?
Right. Exactly. And which has happened many times. Like a lot of people who had a lot of Bitcoin before, that when it was not as valuable, now don't have access to it. There's like stories of people going to, try to find hard drives at the bottom of, like landfills because like if they find the hard drive, it's worth like, $50 million.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh my God. I'll Swan and Swan for now.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, one of the reasons I like a Swan for you and I do the same is like, I also think Bitcoin is a very volatile asset. So it's constantly going up and down. It's very difficult to time the market. Like when should I buy? When should I sell?
That's like so real estate too, kind of. I mean,
right.
People try to time it.
What I encourage is dollar cost averaging, just a teeny tiny bit that
every week,
every week or every day or every month, kind of set it and forget it. Like imagine like you're spending it on, coffee or something like that. And that way,
that's how
if it ever goes away or if it ever drops significantly, you don't have any regret. And if it goes up, it's great. It's like, and you're kind of buying the average price over time.
Yeah.
So that's one of the tools that I like about, is this like kind of set it and forget it dollar cost averaging strategy where I just buy Bitcoin. I don't like to sell it.
I know. Have you ever sold it?
No, I've never sold Bitcoin. No.
Okay, but this is what I was going to ask you. That what are all the other crypto companies? There's like so many. I see it on TikTok. These guys, and they're like, today you're gonna da da da, and I just was getting inundated. I was like, I had to get off TikTok because I would watch it.
Avoid that. To be.
I know, because I kept asking. I'd be like, what about this?
Gambling. It's like gambling.
Yeah, you were
unless you actually understand, and you have to understand. There's a whole business of like promoting random coins to retail, which is what's happening there.
Yeah, I see.
It's like Reddit. It's like GameStop. It's we represent clients that are hopefully bringing Bitcoin sort of up and out of the basement and crypto infrastructure for like institutions like banks to get on board and use this technology. So that's where like I sit, and I'm also, my business is much more B2B.
Oh, okay.
As opposed to consumer facing.
Yeah.
But Swan while they have institutional clients and they help with like Bitcoin and IRAs and all these, products and like high net worth individuals, family offices who want to invest in Bitcoin, they support that. But it's also, that is consumer facing. But for the most part, our clients are really like, our clients are institutions.
So like Ethereum, is that?
Ethereum's like it's
like the Bitcoin, like the one behind Bitcoin, right? Those are the two biggest.
Yes, it's another cryptocurrency and it's another blockchain, and it's built less for digital store of value and more for applications built on top. And right now, the hottest applications, there's two things that you would have heard of. One is NFTs. So
of course,
yeah. So, and NFTs can now be on Bitcoin and Solana and other blockchains, but Ethereum was the first to really...
Okay, do the NFTs.
Yeah, so it's like these digital collectibles, which I think is very cool. And it's cool that kind of took off. I was not expecting that at all, especially the word NFT, non-fungible token. It's like, what? How did that take off and become...
I didn't even know what it meant. I just was like, NFT. I'm like, there's like a random little drawing. And I'm like,
if you collect art, and it kind of makes sense. And I think it's very cool. So... But now Bitcoin actually has their own NFTs called ordinals. So it's...
I don't know any of this.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah. And then the other sort of app that's running on top of, or apps that are running on top of Ethereum are decentralized finance, DeFi. So like doing things like lending and borrowing on top of decentralized networks as opposed to like what you would do in traditional finance. Again, I have no background in finance. I don't even know how I ended up here, but I just love the promise of Bitcoin. I love the people that I work with, and I love what we do, and I want to bring this technology. Like, again, I've been around long enough to where I think when I first got into it, there was definitely a big risk that this was going nowhere, like, that regulation and whatnot was going to stop it.
Yeah.
And now we've had so many small victories along the way. And like the marquee moment, I think this year was, the Bitcoin ETFs were approved on January 11th. And that was a major milestone because now, and now it's like all these big funds and institutions can, buy and hold Bitcoin. And so that was a big, now it's like, we really are unstoppable. We're not going anywhere. People like me knew that all along, but it's like, guys, like, here we go. Yeah.
This is happening. Okay. Because in this podcast, I have asked only 2 questions. And the first one is we kind of already went through it, but it was like, when did you get the click? Like I saw like your like light bulb, like what would you say your click is? Was it the beginning of Melrose? Was it the purse case? Was it when you decided to do crypto? Like, would that be your click? Like this?
I think the moment when things really took off was when I decided to specialize, which was a risk because you're turning down.
You turned down a lot of business.
Yes, exactly. You're turning down money. We actually had to like say to certain clients, like, we're going to go in this direction. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Long-term clients. You had clients for a long time. Yeah. Restaurants.
Yeah. Yeah. And so that was a risky move. And then over the years since then too, we've actually been quite selective with the clients that we'll take on.
Yeah.
It sounds like a good idea or it sounds easy. It's not easy to turn down money. And especially those who you're like, sorry, no, thank you. Sometimes they'll be like throwing money your way. And it's strategically we have to go in this direction. And so that's been something where I feel like once we found our niche, the amount of success that we've had, having specialized versus just doing everything for everyone is like, you can't put a price tag on that. I mean, we're like a million times bigger than we would have been if we just continued to service everybody.
Take a little here, take a little there. Yeah.
But it's a kind of a hard lesson that you have to learn as an entrepreneur. Like what is the direct, and you have to try different things on for size. Like, like I tried it worked and we kept running with it. But then we've also learned along the way that crypto, I will say the industry attracts a very mixed crowd, a lot of opportunists. And, now I think it's easier for me to sniff out, what's real and what's not real, who's here for the right reasons and who's not. And that took a while. I definitely didn't know that in the beginning.
Well, yeah, especially when people are throwing money at you.
Right.
That's hard to say now.
Right.
Yeah, because you're like,
so I think that was the moment.
Yeah, payroll.
But I will say that those domains, like I've had some good domains over the years. MelrosePR.com, when I got that was like my moment where I was like, let's go for this.
Okay, so that's a little.
I also had pursecase.com. We got ready for this. And then the most recent one I told you 2 days ago, we just secured this domain that I'm pretty excited about.
Yeah.
Stay tuned, follow along the journey. It was
the
two just like happened like that and were cheap. This one was like, this took 3 months of like perseverance, but I was positron the whole time.
She was.
And in fact, Rob, the guy who our domain broker, was like, you are so positive. And I was like, I know we're going to get it. I just know we're going to get it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so then we can move to really talking about your 2024.
Yeah.
All your big shifts.
Yeah, I love it. Manifesting. I started the year off with the Gabby Bernstein Manifesting Challenge, did it with a couple of friends. It really set my energy up. And listen, I've manifested amazing things over my lifetime. Like I really do have this life beyond my wildest dreams.
Oh, and even in your recent home.
Oh that my God.
Insane.
It's like,
that was one of my biggest wins, or our biggest wins.
Yeah.
Of my career, for sure.
I mean, this house that it's textbook manifesting in terms of like tests from the universe, because the story is that we had our home, our sweet little home that we absolutely love. We renovated it. It's gorgeous in the canyon. We loved the neighborhood. We never wanted to leave. And then we got pregnant with our third son.
Yeah, I was like, I was like, no,
this isn't going to work.
This is too small. I was like, guys, I love you. This all works.
2 people working from home, 3 toddlers. Like, no.
It's like, no.
So then I started to think, okay, I don't want to leave this neighborhood. What are we going to do? And so we found an opportunity on this street where we wanted to be, and we pounced on it, but unfortunately we didn't get it. And it was so disappointing.
Oh my gosh. We thought, but this is how we got, but we lined everything up. Everything was in order, the finances, everything. And I was like so bummed out. Why didn't we get this house? Such a bummer. What did I tell you over and over? My famous statement. And if you work with me, you'll hear this. this or something better. I said,
well, that couldn't be more
it's
true.
Over, and people want to punch me.
I just get chills.
People want to punch me in the face every time I say it, but it's never been wrong.
Well, what that opportunity did for me was like, oh wow, we can do this. Like we are in a position to do this.
Yes.
And it was very eye-opening. And then I had that awareness. And then Shelton texts us on a Thursday, like, oh my gosh, guys, like a house right across the street, like come see this.
This came up.
And we were like, what? And we raced over there and we put in an offer and I brought the woman flowers. I was literally like, it was a month before. I was waddling
She's
over.
Like, what? And then
so
she
pregnant.
came out. She
came out. Shelton said, don't talk to her. Just leave it on the steps. Don't say anything. And then she comes out and I'm like, you know, flowers. Thank you. Please let us buy your house. And anyway, long story short, we did. Like Shelton made miracles happen, as she always does.
Wow.
And the house was like in rough disrepair, but we fixed it all up, and now it is like, I mean, I pinch myself living there. It's got like the perfect office space for me. I absolutely love working there. It's got a pool for our kids' playroom. We made a gym in the basement. It's like roof deck. It's like
pool.
It's unbelievable.
And amazing neighborhood.
And you know, I loved I loved the house before. I loved it.
Oh yeah.
But this is, I mean, it's like in a category of its own. So, you know, it was amazing, like a beautiful story. And like, I do believe in manifesting. I believe in angel numbers. I believe in synchronicity. And, you know, like my son, Nash, who like came along, he was kind of the catalyst for the home, right? Because
we had to. Yeah.
And then he, you know, we closed on the house on February 9th, 2022. And then he was born on 2/2/2/22.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, thank you, universe, for just like putting everything into place exactly in perfect divine timing. Yeah. So it was like, it was incredible. Story. But anyway, so that's all. So anyway, I have manifested throughout the years is my point. But this year I've really been in that energy of like raising my vibration, clearing my energy, like being the best version of me that I can, being in the flow, trusting signs, seeing what's like being presented for me. Yeah. And it's working. It's working because I mean, and it's not been easy. Like, I don't want to pretend like, oh, it's been such a great year. Like, listen, I've been thrown lots of challenges and curveballs and I just keep being like, this or something better. Like, this is supposed to happen. Yes. Guess what? You know, why did that happen? Because it was supposed to happen that way. You know, I'm just going to go with it. I'm in the flow.
Those are the statements. It's like, how do you know it's supposed to, like, why did that happen? Because it did. Like, that's why it happened. Because it did. That's God's will. And then this or something better, always. Yeah. And everything's happening for me. Yeah. Not to me. Not like, no victim. Yeah. No victimese here. Yeah. No. So you are like,
but it's working. Like I manifested the domain.
Yep. You got it.
And I have an amazing person working for me, like bringing that business to life. She like fell out of nowhere. I don't even know how she found us. It was crazy. So it's all these things. And then I also was telling you, I've recently discovered breath work and I'm completely obsessed. Shout out to Blair. Breath work was Blair. I've never been so clear. Like I really feel like I download exactly what I'm supposed to be. And it's like the deepest meditation I've been able to ever achieve. And I've struggled with being able to meditate. I just, I have such a busy mind, so much going on. Like,
the kids, the business.
3 kids. By the way, my oldest child is 5.5, like 5.5, 3.5, and 2. So that is like a lot. Yeah. But it's, it's amazing and they're all happy and their needs are met. And so we're just, I think one of the things that I love about, myself and you and my husband too, is like, we're always trying to improve. Like, how can we improve this, and constantly striving for what's best, but also being grateful and like celebrating the wins and just being in that energy of like abundance. Like we have so much abundance. Like I look at my children and I'm like, wow, I can't believe this is my life, and I'm so grateful. It brings me right back. And I'm working on just like being present.
Being present. Yes. And celebrating the wins. I have a hard time with that. So that's a good thing to bring me back. And the last one we always say is, what does home mean to you? I mean, you kind of said
what does home mean to me? I mean, I think what I'm learning this year through all of this work is like being home with myself, like being true to myself, like showing up for myself is helping me to show up for all of the different roles that I play in my life, you know, and like being, and, you know, the spirituality piece, like being at home with myself and with God and like just channeling that and being that energy, because I can't be the best wife or mom or boss or any of the titles, friend. Yeah, exactly. Daughter, sister, you know, all these things that I am and that I'm so proud to be are all a direct result of like me showing up for myself. And I really am making an effort this year in a big way to like making time for myself for exercise. And
I know you said,
and,
yes.
You know, those are things that really I felt like I did not have time for last year or did not. And I'm creating time to do that. And guess what? It's like helping me to show up in it gives me like the self-confidence to know that I'm capable of like whatever I set my mind to, and and it also like fills my own cup so that I can like fill everybody else's cup around me. And listen, I have a lot of help. I also feel very supported in general. Like I have this year in work, I have a lot of mentors surrounding me, like paid consultants and things. And so I've like tricky situations are tricky, but I'm surrounded by people who've done it before. And so I'm seeing what's possible. And I know you've done a good job of that too in real estate.
I have to do that. Yeah. Yeah. And so that's so important to have the right people in place.
Because I feel so supported.
Yes. Yeah. You feel like we could just.
I went to this PR agency owners conference, and it was kind of like, again, the serendipity of like, how did I end up there? Someone like gave me a light recommendation that maybe you should check this out. And I was like, I guess what's the worst?
Just say yes. You're really good. Just say yes.
I I was like, what's the worst? It's in Palm Springs. It's 2 hours away. I can just like drive, you know, whatever. And oh my goodness, it completely changed the trajectory of the business, because it's given me, I was able to meet people who have done like what I want to do. And so now I know the roadmap. I know where I want to go with the company, and I know it's possible. And so it's like, okay, I've given the blueprint, and I've also surrounded myself with people who have been able to do what I want to achieve. And so that's been, because I kind of was just winging it.
Well, I think the truth is that everybody's just winging it. People are acting like they're so, no, there really isn't. I mean, CEO school. It's like, no, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
That's what I keep saying is like, nobody really, I put out so much stuff and content.
You've
like,
never stopped. Father Wednesday. It's like, I don't think you've taken a week off.
No, there's no weeks off. 7.5 years. But it doesn't, it's like, it's fine. It's just good that it's out there. It's not like everybody, I don't even watch it.
Yeah.
Like I don't even.
Yeah, I don't watch mine either.
We don't watch it. You put it out. You're like, great. Hopefully this helps. What's next?
Totally.
That's how you are.
It works.
That's how you are.
It's true. That is true.
Yeah.
Yes. And surrounding myself with amazing people who are willing to help and have a shared sort of vision and idea. And, you know, we're doing it. We're showing up every day.
Well, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I admire you.
Thank you. Likewise. I mean, you coined the term positron.
It is. I know, and it's said all the time.
But I also love all of your Sheltonisms. Like I steal all of them. Judge Judy, Star Wall Street.
We're always saying all this silly stuff, but it's fun. You gotta laugh.
You gotta laugh. And you gotta have fun and enjoy life. Enjoy the journey. Like there are days that are hard where I do find it tricky to enjoy the journey, but like I'm really working on that. My husband's really good at that.
Yeah,
he's like so present. You know,
he is really. Hunter's great. Yeah,
but I can work on that.
Well, we're just
because I'm like in the future. I'm like, let's do this.
Yeah.
This, you know, I'm like building, creating. You know,
stay right here.
Yeah,
it's all very good right now.
Yes, it is.
Okay, well, I love you.
Love you.
Thanks for coming by. Okay, bye. I'm Shelton Wilder, and welcome to Wilder Possibilities Podcast, where each episode follows an entrepreneur's journey into the transformative power of that light bulb moment where everything clicks. I call that the click. Those pivotal points that redefine our futures, illuminate paths to success, and even change the world. Now let's get wilder.